Literally within seconds before starting this video, a thought occurred to me. Quite literally the beginning of this past week, which coincidentally also had to be the very beginning of this new year, things weren't really... I mentioned how, we're all convinced that this year is going to be a great year, as am I. But for those first couple of days, we're trying to tread cautiously because, yeah, we want it to be great, but you gotta work a little bit. You gotta work your way around a couple things. You're not gonna have a great year without some trials and tribulations and some obstacles in your path. I understand that. But after last night, it occurred to me, good things are going to happen. It's just more often than not, I'm going to have to wait until the weekend starts for that to happen. Take last night, for instance. But before I get into that, let me get to my low, my high, my acts of kindness. For my low, I would say that for me, I thought yesterday was probably the coldest it's been, actually technically this whole year, because it's 2024 now. I guess since winter started, it's definitely one of them, but man, yesterday I felt particularly cold. I actually felt so cold yesterday that when I went out, which is part of my high, by the way, that I was actually wearing a layer of long johns underneath my going out outfit. So I was feeling a little bit extra toasty. And I mean, it felt great to do that, I didn't feel so cold. And again, it's actually just like it was on a Thursday. It's not that it was cold per se. Oh. That was weird. Someone actually just rang the doorbell of my apartment. Feel free to ignore that. Don't worry. Listen, I live in Elmira. Chances are whoever rang that doorbell is probably someone who just wanted to get inside. Which is why I'm not opening the door. Wow, that, I don't think anyone's ever opened the door, I don't think anyone's ever rang the doorbell before. Or the door buzzer that basically, in an apartment building, you press a little button when someone wants to let you in. That's never happened before the entire time I work here. Odd. But, again, feel free to ignore that. Weird, I seem to have forgotten where I was. Right, I was talking about, how, while yesterday wasn't cold exactly, but it was the wind that really, got, that really picked up, and that's what made everything, particularly cold. But my high is, I went out for a little bit, and man, I don't know how it keeps happening, but if you recall, over the last week or so, I've been doing some posts about the nicest family on the face of the earth, and I keep running into them, flipping everywhere, man. Full disclosure, I was actually going to have sort of a cheat day for me. And keep in mind, I was a little bit hungry. Not much, but, a little bit. So, I went to Nick's for fish fry. Oh, actually, hold on. I got to get to my act of kindness. Well, actually, my high and my... Well, obviously, my high is I went out. And, spoiler alert, I ran into some people I knew last night. And, even more of a high is I finally got around to adding Nick's and Illegal Tap House to the color list. Frankly, it was about due. It was due. Frankly, I could have done it a lot sooner. I mean, listen, if I'm going to add something to the color list, I actually have to come with I can't just say it around the list. You gotta talk about past experiences with said places. And honestly, considering how great of a year 2023 was, I mean, I went on record saying that 2023 was the greatest year of my life. You know, it was due. It was due. I talked about Nick's and Illegal Tap House. So, oh right, I didn't do my act of kindness either. My act of kindness is I actually did some shopping for I chauffeured my grandmother to and from her hair salon. Which there's one thing I gotta talk about. And I thought this was like really cool. Okay. So I was picking up my grandmother from the hair salon, right? And I had never seen this before. But there was some girl like getting her hair styled. And while she was getting her hair styled, she had a laptop on her lap. Hair done and work done. I had never seen that before. I'm like, girl, you doing it up, man. Holy cow. I had never seen that before. I thought it was really cool. Okay, so back to what happened last night. So I got Nick's for fish fry. And of course, the fish fry is still the best of the 607. No questions asked. Went to Illegal for a little bit. Had myself one cocktail at a French 75. It was very good. No, you know what? Why not have sort of a cheat day? I'll go to, and I was going to go to Elbow Room at some point. So I went to go, right? I had my gift certificate from, again, the nicest family on the face of the earth. I get there to Elbow Room, and I walk in the door, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That family was right there. Like, really? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like the most pleasant surprise ever. But I was not expecting it, you know? It just, like, you know, it's actually one of them made the joke. Everywhere you look, there they are. And what's even funnier too, like, this is a big family, like a really big family. So big that, and keep in mind, I have said this to them before and they thought it was hilarious. But, wow, I can't really say, I never name names, so not to embarrass or offend anyone. Let's just say, I quoted a Jay-Z lyric regarding this family. Only instead of 99 problems, it's 99 cousins. There you go. That should give you a rundown of what it was. And honestly, talking to them, it's not that I lost my appetite or anything. It's just, I don't know, I just didn't really feel the need to want anything else. So, I just had some water. I mean, listen, you guys, listen, I really do drink. I mean, I literally just said that I drink responsibly. I mean, I had one cocktail that was illegal. So I'm more than capable of drinking responsibly. In fact, when I was doing my posts of adding both Nick's and illegal to the cutler list, I was drinking the French 75 that I got. I made that drink last for 2 entire super long posts. So, who says it's impossible to drink on the job? Okay, kids, don't do that. Actually, kids, don't drink until you're 21. I really say that. Folks, don't drink and work at the same time. Don't do that. drink responsibly. Much like I did last night, because I only had one cocktail. Okay? You gotta do that. So, this is actually quite interesting. Well, actually, I didn't really finish the story. Well, TLDR, last night was wonderful. And my point is, great things are definitely going to happen this year. And I genuinely do believe 2024 is going to be a great year. You just got to really take the good moments when they come. And last night was definitely one of those times. And I'm grateful for that. And again, it also helps when you run into the nicest family on the face of the earth. So, there you go. So, you guys know me, wearing my jersey. So that means there's some NFL picks to make today. And, actually does still kind of bother me that, this past Thursday was the last possible time you're going to have Thursday night football, and you don't have it. The grand scheme of things, I guess it's fine. There's always, I guess having games on Saturday night's okay. Plus, considering that the college national championship is on Monday, I think it makes sense that you probably have, games on Saturday too anyway, so. Actually, would this be Thursday night football? Or Monday night football that they're doing today? I don't know. Well, I do know that we do have, one game really isn't very important at all. The other is quite important indeed. So let's get to the one that's not very important. The Ravens and the Steelers. Look, there is absolutely nothing that's going to happen to the Raiders that makes them lose the number one seed. They clinched the number one seed weeks ago. There's absolutely nothing that can go wrong for them to lose the number one seed. So they decided to rest all their starters. Personally, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not an NFL owner. I'm not a coach. So obviously those people know a lot more about what to do with their players than say I would. However, I would like to point out that a lot more often than not, when you rest your starters at the last week of the season, knowing you're going to make the playoffs, and not only do you know you're making the playoffs, but you're pretty much the number one seed. When that happens, the number one seed loses. It's happened to my Dallas Cowboys a couple of times. In fact, I just mentioned the Ravens. It happened to the Ravens during Lamar Jackson's MVP year, when Lamar Jackson won it unanimously. Yeah, King Henry ran all over him, from the Tennessee Titans. Actually, the Titans that year had a pretty solid demolition job going. They beat Tom Brady at Tom Brady, beat Belichick in New England. They beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, which, was, again, another year where an MVP doesn't win a Super Bowl. And up until Patrick Mahomes did, in my opinion, the greatest run by a quarterback I have ever seen, the Titans are actually doing a pretty solid job beating the Chiefs. So, my point is, listen, if you're going to rest your starters, okay, fine. I just hope you guys know what you're doing. Because again, I've seen plenty of times where you rest your starters and it don't end so well. So with that said, look, no one cares. Listen, the Steelers are out. No one's going to care if, the Ravens lose. In fact, I almost want to pick the Steelers just so I can say the Steelers can end their season on a high note. The problem is, though, I'm not really a fan of the Steelers either. I mean, the only reason why the Ravens even have any reason to try and win is to set a statement before the playoffs start saying, listen, last time we were the number one seed, we didn't do well in the playoffs. So we're going to change things now. I can totally see that being a thing. You know what? I get the feeling that John Harbaugh, their coach, is going to want them really motivated to win. And playing well tonight would really set the tone for that sort of thing. So, you know what? I'll pick the Ravens. Why not? Now for the even bigger game. The Colts and the Texans. Right now, the Colts sit at the 7th seed. The Texans sit the 8th seed. It's very simple to say that whoever wins tonight goes to the playoffs. Now, I will admit, even back when Peyton Manning played for the Colts, I've never been impressed with the Colts. Like, ever. Like, ever. I mean, the one time I ever actually was when the Colts actually won their Super Bowl against the Bears. And even then, it's not that I was impressed with the Colts. It's just, you know, everybody wanted Peyton Manning to win a Super Bowl, and he finally did. So, you know, good on him. Even better that his little brother did it a year later, beating Peyton Manning's arch nemesis, Tom Brady, in the Super Bowl. Which, I just want to say right now, there's no way Eli Manning is watching this. But if he is, let me just say, Eli Manning, as a little brother myself, you are an inspiration to little brothers everywhere. Okay? Thank you. Actually, fun fact, my grandma for a long time was a Giants fan because she liked Eli Manning. And she liked Eli Manning because she thought I looked like Eli Manning. I mean, I told people this story, and some people say they see it, some people don't really see it. Me personally, I do love my grandma, so I guess no matter what I say, she's going to be right. So we'll just leave it at that. But wow, I just forgot where. Oh, right, the Texans and the Colts. So my point is, the Colts have been in this exact position before where all they had to do was win a game and they couldn't make the playoffs. Meanwhile, you know, the Texans, they pretty much have come back from the dead. You know, C.J. Stroud legit brought life back into that team. The Texans are doing well because of his quarterback play. And that is awesome. I really would like to see the underdog win this game. But the Colts have surprised me a lot this year, too. I mean, look, if the Colts wind up winning, if the Colts wind up losing, you know, it won't change what I've thought about the Colts all along, in which I've never been impressed by them. Although, I'll tell you what, like anyone from the Colts is going to be watching this, Colts, prove me wrong. I'm picking you guys to win tonight. I mean, Colts, win this game tonight. You want to prove me wrong and prove that you belong to the playoffs? Win this game tonight and see. Do it. I mean, it won't be an easy game. The Texans are definitely going to play it tough, especially since the entire division and that not the entire division, but that 8th spot is right on the line. You got to do it, man. Or the 7th spot. The 7th spot is right on the line, man. Now's the time to prove everybody why you belong in the playoffs. So yeah, those are my picks, the Ravens and the Colts. At one point, the Ravens were actually the Colts. I guess it's fitting. I hope you all like this video. If you like, subscribe, leave the channel on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all you guys watching Joe for Noon. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Oh, I forgot to do happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everyone. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or channel, we're here to lend and always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.